This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. It's nice to have you back. You took National Beer Drinking Day off.
I did.
It's a big holiday.
Well, I'm back for National Coffee Day because I'm going to need a lot of that. Did you know?
No,
There's
today is really.
Snapchat filter and everything.
Thanks for stopping and getting John and I some.
So
We
what does it
appreciate
make you
that.
look like a big bean or something? Is that what the
I
filter?
think it might be a Starbucks one, so it makes you look like, you know, the logo.
Like a king.
It's pretty cute, though. There's nothing open right now, Don. If there was, if we had a 24-hour Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, it'd be right here for all of us.
If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, I know.
Yeah. That's a great holiday, though.
It is a wonderful one. We love it.
Right in our zone.
Yeah.
We have some scattered showers around this morning, so a little coffee might brighten your day, actually. A little bit of cloud cover and an occasional shower will be in the forecast for morning hours. By afternoon, a lot of that activity will move inland. Nevertheless, there will be a chance at a scattered shower near the coast right straight through the day. Our rain chance today pretty high, put it in about 40 or 50%. And as we head through the afternoon, the focus for the heavier rains moves inland. Daytime high tops out again near 90. We'll have the complete forecast details, including our Matthew out in the Atlantic. Talking about that in just a few.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Manatee County, everything's moving along without any issues this morning right now. It's looking good. 75, 301, and 41 all moving at a nice clip. And then as you head down into Sarasota County, it would just Bee Ridge Road as you head east and west right at the intersection of 41. Has a little bit of a backup, but I can't imagine it's much of a backup this time in the morning. Not a lot of traffic on the roads. So everything else is looking pretty good. Now, topping our news this morning, as water pollution becomes a growing concern in Southwest Florida, the results are in on a test of the water supply after a fuel tanker crashed and spilled oil onto I-75 in Northport Friday.
Yeah, the Department of Environmental Protection says the water treatment facility found there's no trace of petroleum in the water from the Peace River. Oil sheens from the accident were spotted in nearby ditches, which is connected to the water treatment facility.
We did have a couple heavy rainstorms between Friday night and Monday. So what happened is the swale system along I-75 where the oil was contained had breached come Monday morning.
The DEP plans to use water from the Peace River until all the tests show that the water is safe in the Myakkahatchee Creek.
Now, some people living on Siesta Key are also worried about their water quality, and this comes after a discharge from the wastewater treatment facility there last month. Sarasota County says that more than 3 million gallons of partially treated wastewater was discharged into the Siesta Key Grand Canal on August 31st. County officials say this controlled spill was done when the plant had reached full capacity because of storm waters brought on by Hurricane Hermine. Otherwise, there would have been raw sewage to spill out there. Experts say residents should not be concerned with the water quality, but some Siesta Key residents are playing it a little safe.
We just moved to the neighborhood about a month ago, and it was brought to our attention, and we feel that we're far enough downstream that it doesn't affect us, but it is a concern since it is waste going into our water.
The wastewater treatment facility on Siesta Key was originally scheduled to be shut down this year. Now county officials say that that won't happen until the end of next year. And residents and businesses in 8 counties in Florida will now receive federal funding following hurricane/tropical storm Hermine. President Obama has officially declared a major disaster for areas impacted by the hurricane. Assistance include grants for temporary housing, home repairs, and low-cost loans. Manatee and Sarasota counties are not included. FEMA officials say it is still conducting damage surveys and additional counties may receive assistance.
4 Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies accused of perjuring themselves in a drug trafficking case to protect a confidential informant will not face charges. As part of an anti-crime unit, the deputies pulled Jose Perez over on I-75 for a seatbelt violation back in March. A sheriff's dog found 6 pounds of cocaine in Perez's truck. Now, documents about the arrest show the deputies never mentioned an informant in their sworn depositions. However, 2 deputies did mention the informant in reports following their depositions. Officers don't have to disclose who their informant is, but they cannot conceal that they actually used an informant. The sheriff's office will now begin an internal investigation of the deputies' actions. Detectives with the Sarasota Police Department are looking for a plant thief. This is surveillance video from outside Awesome Orchids on South Pineapple Avenue in downtown Sarasota. Police say a man stole potted plants from the business between September 1st and the 2nd. 2 weeks later, more plants and a metal bench that was even bolted down to the concrete was also stolen. The estimated value of the items stolen is approximately $1,000. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS.
The Manatee County Animal Services Advisory Board would like to implement an ordinance that will require people to register as animal abusers if convicted of animal cruelty. According to the Bradenton Herald, the board came up with the idea after a similar ordinance was approved in Hillsborough County earlier this month. If it is approved, the ordinance could keep animal shelters, rescue groups, and other organizations from allowing abusers to own another animal. Commissioners say Manatee County has the most convicted animal abusers in the state. The County Commission could vote on the ordinance after the November election.
All right, well, in local business news, Marina Jack has some new leadership. Anytime new leadership comes in, though, people get concerned if they really like to play. So.
Yes, and everybody likes Marina Jack, but it shouldn't affect the restaurant, they say. And ABC 7's Ray Collins is going to tell us more.
It's been an icon on the Sarasota Bayfront for nearly 50 years. Over 300 boat slips and several restaurants, and now its biggest change could be on the way. A press release says Suntex Marinas of Dallas will acquire certain interests of Marina Jack. Suntex manages 34 marinas in over a dozen states. The other sites in Florida are in Jacksonville and the Fort Myers area, including Snookbite Marina, which they call Southwest Florida's finest full-service marine facility.
And bringing in some new fresh eyes, and I think hopefully it'll be a nice invigoration for the marina.
Richard Deere has docked his boat at Marina Jack for over a dozen years.
I think it's a good thing. It's great to see new things come to Sarasota. Hopefully the new company will bring a little bit more, into the business.
They have been a long-standing tenant of ours on the bayfront, operating restaurants, the marina.
The city of Sarasota owns the property and leases to Marina Jack. But the deputy city manager says they were not involved in discussions. He says their tenant doesn't have to include them.
If it's a merger, they don't. And that's why we want to make sure that we take a look at it to ensure that, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed in terms of what the lease speaks about for these types of partnerships.
And though the city was talking, Suntex Marina didn't make themselves available for interviews, and Marina Jack refused. As for the dozens of workers, Suntex says all employees will be kept through the transition. On the Bayfront, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Ray. A public pool that's causing debate in Northport is expected to be the topic of discussion during a public workshop tonight. Rebuilding the 25-meter pool at the Dallas White Park has already been put in the city's capital improvement plan. $2.3 billion has already been set aside in the budget to pay for those renovations. But now in a 3-2 vote, the City Commission has decided to consider changing the improvement plan to build a new 50-meter pool at Butler Park instead of renovating the Dallas White Park pool. Now, supporters for this change say it would be quicker to build a new pool, but those against it say it will cost more than twice as much as renovating the pool. There's also concern the YMCA will move out of Northport if that pool is removed. In Manatee County, the Bradenton City Council has approved a new development in East Bradenton, just off State Road 64. The council voted 4-1 last night to allow Next Generation Development to move forward with building 172 townhomes and 12 single-family homes in the 4900 block of First Avenue East. But nearby residents complained the development would bring unwanted construction traffic and safety hazards into their area. The City Council says developers must restrict construction traffic to First Avenue East as an access point.
Well, there was much to do during the storm Hermine when Sarasota County would not cancel school days, and now it's all coming home to roost for Manatee County because students will have to make up school days missed during the storm. The school board approving several calendar changes. Students will attend school for a full day on both October 5th and December 7th.